When you ask me the question, when did I first, I immediately get transported back to my friend's house, I still can remember. Near my house, there was an Uncle Ringo, it was 50 cents. Then there was a country club that we tried to sneak in, that one was 20 cents. So every generation have games that their children play. The current generation, I think they play on mobile devices, they play on Switch, PlayStation. But for my generation, it's really the retro consoles, going to the arcade centers, and Street Fighter was the game that I played all the time. I think nostalgia is very important. It's why I got started. I think it's why a lot of people around my age want to come here. We want to relive some of our best memories when we were young. Hi everyone, my name is KJ. I'll be turning 43 this year. I'm a designer. I also teach adjunct at one of the art schools. On the side, I work on RetroCade as a hobby. I started RetroCade accidentally. I only wanted to build a machine for myself when I heard that there are a lot of people using the Raspberry Pi to build retro arcade machines. So when I started to build it, I posted on social media, right? Then I have friends who say, hey, this is damn cool. And then they'll say, I'll buy one if you make. So that gave me an idea. It slowly evolved into also a workshop activity. So there will be people who say, hey, I want to build this myself. And then they'll come over to my workshop and we spend about 3 hours to build a machine. It was very difficult to get started. I got to source for the right parts. Like the first machine that I built, I don't know how the wiring will work. I actually have to buy a proper two-player controller, then I dismantle it, take a look at how the wiring goes. I think the real difficult part was to get the wood cut. It's not easy to find anywhere in Singapore to do it. And it also can get very costly. It's actually quite simple. Once you fool around with it, you know which goes where, and then you look at the buttons, you know how it works. I think that's the beauty of it. People think it's quite complicated, but actually it's not. Yeah. My very first memorable encounter with games was when I went to my friend's house when I was in primary 2. So I went to his house, we had some fun, and then he turned on his Nintendo. It was the first time I played something with a controller on the TV. Really, really fun. I didn't want to go home. I had to call my mom, say, can I go back an hour later? She asked me, what was I doing? I said, no, I'm just playing that. I remember that I was gesturing with my hands, but I couldn't tell her what was it because she also haven't seen that before. So I stayed for another hour. Another hour was all I got. And then my brother introduced me to Street Fighter. I think that was one of my first encounters with an arcade game that got me hooked. So even when I was in my JC days, after school, we are not allowed to enter the arcades in our school uniform. So everyone will have a t-shirt underneath. And when we want to go to the arcade, we just pick off our school uniform and then go to the arcade. Yeah. At the beginning, I wanted to play the games. Then I realized that I actually enjoy the design and building process more. If you ask me to keep building the same thing, I think it starts to get boring for me too, which is why I designed the briefcase, I did a jukebox, I did some music players. So that's part of the enjoyment. Then the other one is when I started to do workshop. So that interaction with all these participants who are mostly like-minded people, right? They like retro stuff, they like retro games. When they come to the space, they'll see, wow, you got all this. Then there's a lot of things to chat about. Feels like a friend. So that interaction is really fun. And then you find out that there are a lot of participants who use it as a gift. So there'll be wives that surprise their husbands, couples that come in, wedding anniversary, birthdays, parents who bring their kids for a bonding activity. So all these instances, when I see people enjoying, it makes the hobby also very fulfilling. I think nostalgia is very important. It's why I got started. I think it's why a lot of people around my age want to come here. We want to relive some of our best memories when we were young. I'm just happy to see them enjoying. There's something nice they bring back. not just the 3 hours they spend, And when they go back, they actually spend time with it together. I think that's the very nice part also. Because I don't look at this as a business, it's really just a hobby. So the plan is just keep having fun, just keep introducing this very nostalgic creation to more people. When you ask me the question, when did I first, I immediately get transported back. To my friend's house, I still can remember. Yeah.